This is where the Passion of the Christ began, in the Kidron Valley, at the base of the Mount of Olives, in a place that we call the Garden of Gethsemane. During the 1st century, this entire mountain was a vast grove of olive trees. But where we are standing is a special place, because this was where Jesus' 3 inner circle apostles, Peter, John, and James, slept, while Jesus prayed just a stone's throw away. And it is believed that the apostles prayed somewhere in this fenced area, where you see 8 gnarled olive trees. On the night that Jesus was arrested, he left many of his followers in a cave about 100 meters to the north. He walked to this spot where he asked Peter, John, and James to pray. He then went a little farther south to pray alone on the bedrock that is currently exposed on the floor of the Basilica of the Agony. Jesus returned from this rock 3 times, asking these apostles to stay awake and pray with him. But their eyes were heavy, and they kept falling asleep. In the walkway of the southeast corner of the garden, there is a rock. This is called the Rock of the Apostles, allegedly near the place where Peter, John, and James slept. At one time, next to this rock, there was a marble column called the Kiss of Judas, a pillar that commemorated the moment that Judas kissed the Lord on the cheek. That column has since been moved to the west side of the road, directly behind the Basilica of the Agony. Now, scientists have determined that the 8 olive trees in this garden were not here on the night of Jesus' Passion. In the year 2012, a radiocarbon study of 3 of the trees in this garden revealed that they are no more than 900 years old. DNA testing also concluded that all of them originated as cuttings from the same tree. According to a 1982 study, the roots of these trees are about 2,300 years old. Now, when olive trees are cut down, the roots typically grow new trees, so it's likely that the roots in this garden were here during the time of Jesus. The 1st century historian Flavius Josephus reports that during the Jewish revolt of 70 AD, the Roman legion cut down all of the trees around Jerusalem to build siege towers, and they probably harvested the wood from this area to use for campfires, and even to build crosses to crucify the Jewish rebels who attempted to escape the city. According to Josephus, about 500 Jews were killed each day of that siege. Jesus was the only man in history who was born to die. And yet in Gethsemane's garden, he prayed that his Father would deliver him from this death sentence. But Jesus never lost sight of his destiny, and he ended his prayer by saying, "Not my will, but thy will be done." Where have we heard these words before? They are part of the Lord's Prayer, which Jesus taught to his disciples 4 months earlier on the lofty summit of this same mountain. Notice that after teaching his disciples to pray, "Thy will be done," Jesus is now praying this same prayer by himself in the valley of pain and torment. Prayers that are prayed in the valleys of life often sound more like the first part of Jesus' Gethsemane prayer. That is, "Father, deliver me from this circumstance." But as we are seeking a physical solution to our problems, we must, as Jesus did, surrender ourselves to God's perfect will for our lives, whatever it is, and however unpredictable it may be.